To Germany now, where police are reportedly investigating a new case of espionage. This time it involves Defense Ministry employees suspected of spying for Washington. Last week, another German intelligence worker was arrested in Berlin. He turned out to be a double agent working for the US. Peter Oliver has the details.
On Wednesday morning, the federal prosecutors raided the office and home of a Defense Ministry employee here in Berlin. They were looking for any evidence that this employee had passed information on to the United States. He's currently facing questioning from this employee is currently facing questioning from the Attorney General. We'll be waiting to find out if any more information comes out about this, but what we do know is that the US Ambassador John B. Emerson was summoned to the Foreign Ministry here in Berlin in relation to this ongoing investigation. Well, it's just the latest in a litany of spying scandals here in Germany. Just last week, we saw a security service employee, the BND, being arrested and charged with having passed on documents to the NSA for cash. Now, he's currently in prison awaiting trial for that. It's understood in reports in the media here that the two aren't linked, that the arrest last week isn't directly linked to what we've seen on Wednesday, but it's just another example of US spying taking place here in Germany.
Revelations of the US spying on one of its closest allies are now a regular fixture in the German media. Washington consistently says sorry, but is soon caught doing exactly the same thing again. Well, for more on the issue, I'm joined live by former MI5 agent turned whistleblower Annie Michon. Thank you very much for joining me. So first, we know we have a German intelligence officer employee, now a member of the Defense Ministry. Just how deep is the US into German authorities?
Well, to paraphrase a British playwright, Oscar Wilde, to lose one secret spy in a week is misfortune, to lose two is carelessness. I find this very interesting, though. I mean, at the risk of sounding flippant before, I find it very interesting because I think what we're seeing here is a pushback from the German state after the scandals of the BND, their CIA, being involved in hoovering up data mining last year from the Snowden disclosures with the X-Key score program. And also after, of course, the huge scandal of the fact that the NSA has been intercepting the calls from the Chancellor Angela Merkel's private mobile phone. I think what we're looking at here is a pushback from the German spies. They are really trying to find out what the NSA, what the Americans are doing within their own country. And I think they're probably going to find more. This will only be the start of the sheer scale of what the NSA has been doing, not only to one of its key European partners, but probably across the whole of Europe as well.
But Germany is an ally, so what do you think Washington is looking for there?
Well, this is a very good question. I mean, there is protocols in place between allies where you don't try and subvert each other's intelligence officers. You don't try and recruit them. You don't try and spy on each other. So it seems that on the one hand, the USA wants all the allies to work with them on this global war on terror. But on the other hand, they still want the old days where they can spy on other countries and their national sovereignty with impunity. They can't have it both ways.
And now, of course, we know the US ambassador has been summoned over these last two cases by Berlin. Do you think we will see Berlin take some action? When is enough enough?
Well, I think we've probably got to that point. If the embarrassments of last year with the X-Key score program and Chancellor's phone being intercepted were not enough, surely now, these exposures are going to show that the Germans need to push back, as indeed has been reported today, that they are going to start spying in a retaliatory fashion in order to at least ensure their own national sovereignty. But it would be nice as well to see them really put in place laws and influence the European environment as well to protect all the European citizens' privacy over the internet, over communications, because we have enough evidence now from Edward Snowden and from these cases that the US is out of control, that the NSA is running amok and will continue to infringe the rights of privacy for all we in Europe. And we need to ensure that certain laws are put in place that can stop that. And I hope that the European Parliament, after all the evidence it's taken over the last year, will re-enshrine the recommendations that were put to it in 2001 after the Echelon scandal, which will build a separate infrastructure for Europe, which will ensure that we can use open source software and wean ourselves off this dependency on US corporate software. So I think this is a great opportunity. I just hope the Germans will seize it.
You mentioned dependency, and it's very interesting actually, because it's not just the government in Germany which is frustrated, but people as well. If we can take a look at some figures, you'll see that a recent poll actually showed that around half of Germans want to see their country become less dependent on the US. Do you think that this is only linked to the spying claims?
I think this has been a huge spur to this impetus. I mean, many people in the tech community in Europe have been saying this for decades. The Free Software Foundation, for example, has been advocated that we move away from our dependency on US corporate closed proprietary software. We should, as countries, be using open source software so we can see what's going on beneath the hood in order to protect our privacies. And this would also be great. It's a great business opportunity for Europe to build up companies, to develop a knowledge base, to educate our young. It's a win-win situation, and I would hope that Germany will see this continuing gross infringement of its national sovereignty as the spur to encourage their country and the rest of Europe to move away and start using open source to protect our rights as citizens of the EU.
Former MI5 agent turned whistleblower Annie Machon, thank you very much.